All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day of U.S. government at San Dimas High. As you know, the last few days we've been talking about voting and elections, the outcomes, why it's important. And today we're going to continue that discussion. But to begin, I have a couple of pictures I'd like to show you. And I'm wondering if anybody could tell me what this is. I know what it is because I looked it up. But does anybody?
Kind of looks like a gun.
Wow.
What do you guys see?
Okay. I don't see it. Good job.
The legislative district has been highly gerrymandered.
It is. Do you know where it's from? This is Chicago. All right, and this is another congressional voting district. And this one is outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Today we're going to be talking about...
It's the black part that's the voting district?
Yes. Yeah. And today we're talking about redistricting and how those shapes get their form. So in your groups, I'm going to ask you, your groups of four at your tables, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. So what is redistricting? One way it's good, and one way it's bad. So if you want to just talk at your tables, come up just on a piece of paper. There's no right or wrong answers, but just what do you think? 3 minutes.
I believe it's state, but it's also the city or typically long.
It's like all one political party.
But there might be city. I'm just gonna say regional.
Well, when it's done incorrectly, it's like that. And it's designed well, let's say you got
So what do you guys think of why it's bad?
right. It's one way or
We only thought about it.
Oh, you guys didn't realize So everybody, I guess it like one thing could be good. That's where you guys like a regional district.
I know.
Probably belongs down here.
Those that do like districts can work up in smaller districts, but these are
Like class.
You complaining after
do you think of why it might be good? Then they change.
sounded like
Sorry, you guys.
Because they're not spending directly out of the top.
Why might it be bad? Why might it be bad? Voting rights act. How are you guys doing?
honestly.
Best answer. What's it good? Western District. No cheating. Just like so
I said because it happens every period of years.
okay, so since grasshoppers, I'm going to ask you because I know you guys know the answers. Does anybody want to share what they came up with as to what is redistricting? Anybody?
A reconstruction of district lines.
Exactly.
Nice.
And why might that be a good thing? James.
Because as population changes, you need to redistrict, or else certain places will have a disproportionate value than others.
Exactly. And why might it be bad?
Because as the population changes, your political party might not be doing so well, so you need to change the district's lines so that it gives you an unfair advantage.
Exactly. And, well, you guys actually got it completely right. But I passed out a brief explanation of redistricting. And as you guys know, and all of my scholars, that some of our readings are getting more difficult. We're getting a lot of, I think the technical term is legal mumbo jumbo. So we're gonna go over a reading strategy today that's gonna help you when we get into more difficult readings of Supreme Court cases and laws with all that legal jargon.
Mr. Leading, for one thing, Ross to point out that you said there was no right or wrong answers, but
They got
all got them all
well,
right.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I mean, it was a guess, and everybody guessed right.
Okay, my other thing I was wondering is, I don't get to vote or anything. Why do I care about this stuff?
Well, because the other day when you were talking about how much you wanted to be president, and I was saying, well, we need informed presidents. So, and this is informing you on what happens in our government. And if I want, I'll vote for you to be president, but I want you to know what goes on.
I must have been out of it when I said I want to be president.
Yeah, you did. I mean, you were super excited to run for office yesterday. I think yesterday you said political science is the most important class in school.
I must have been really excited.
All right, so if everybody wants to just quickly turn over their sheets, I pulled it up. And the reading method SQ3R, well, it stands for something. The S stands for survey. That's where you preview the reading, you just look over it. Titles, pictures, graphs, quotes. And you just want to get a general idea about what this material is going to be about. So if everybody wants to just do a quick survey on their reading. When you're done, just want to look up here so I know. All right. And the Q of SQ3R stands for question. the who, what, where, when, why, and how. What do I already know about this? What do I think I should know after I get done reading? And turn the titles into questions. But as you can see on this, most of them already are. So you actually don't have to do that. But if something isn't and you don't understand what it is, you might just want to make that into a question. So if you want to take a minute and try and do that, if you see something, a subtitle maybe, that's a question. Yeah, that one's already a question for you.
What are backup commissions?
Make it into a question.
What are backup commissions? I made it into a question. It said backup commissions.
Oh,
What are backup commissions?
Exactly. Does everybody have one done?
Yeah.
Is everybody good? Alright, and the first R, read. So if you just want, because of time, if you just want to read the first page, it's not a race. Read it, actually read it. Think about it. You're done if you just want to look up here so I know. Stop harassing your fellow readers. Can we give Sam a round of applause for reading? The second R of SQ3R is recite. And this is where you answer the questions you made in the Q part of SQ3R. Where you make a brief summary. And if something's not clear, just reread it and try and find the answer. So you just want to take a quick minute to do that on the first page. Oh, first page, that's a pretty much right out. final R is review. This is what you can use to help study for a test or a quiz, or if you just don't know something about what we're talking about. You look back at your questions and answers and expand them if necessary. So if you need another source or you just want to Google it because something's not clear, you can do that. And this is a good time to work with a partner. So what you had a question on, what their answer was, compare it with your answer. And that's the end of my lesson. And that was just SQ3R. It's something I do, and I didn't even really realize I was doing it. You get something, and then you look at, I always look at the pictures first, and I don't even get what this is, so what is this about? And then you read it, and then I still don't get it, and then you reread. And then when you're reviewing or studying for a test, you usually have what's underlined or highlighted that are the important parts. Just a method I think you can use, that I could use in social studies. I don't know if anybody else thinks it worked for them, but I think it works, and I've used it. And that's SQ3R.